want to say this. First and foremost, there's no shame, no embarrassment in getting packed out, getting beat up. As long as you fight, you're respected. Now, did King fight? We don't know. I'm going to tell you my personal opinion about T.I.'s son, King.
Like, I don't have no gang. I ain't in no gang. I got family. I got motherfuckers who willing to risk their lives and freedom to die by me and mine. You hear me? Why don't f***ing play with me, man? Don't play with my motherfucking child, ever.
King Harris has officially stepped into the darkest chapter of his young life. His father, T.I., had warned him this day would come, but no one thought the prophecy would hit this hard. The same kid who once moved through Atlanta with untouchable confidence now sits behind freezing steel bars, stripped of fame, freedom, and that loud ego. Insiders claim King's been frantically reaching out for help after running into the wrong crew inside lockup. Word from the inside says this wasn't about a simple fight. They wanted to make a statement. Sources whispered that certain gangs didn't just plan to rough him up, they wanted to silence him. Picture it, a once boastful 20-year-old pacing a dim county cell, cold air cutting through every breath. Each slam of that iron door echoing like thunder, a brutal reminder that the world outside no longer belongs to him.
What you want to do? What you want to take? You from here?
Yeah, I'm from here. Yeah, I'm from here.
All right, so.
Oh, hell yeah, let's go.
What's up with you, bro? What's up with you, bro?
Let's go.
Putting your hand around me, talking out your ass like you want to do something. What's up, bro?
Oh, Lord.
What's up, bro?
Nothing.
What?
Wow.
Relax or what?
Nothing.
Or what? Or what?
Nothing.
Or what? Because you just tried me like a
Nothing.
hoe.
This could be a game.
Keep out your business, my nigga. Keep out your business, my nigga.
I think he wants you to peel.
His confidence leaked out of him like air from a deflated tire. Insiders say that was the moment King finally broke, picking up the jail phone, voice trembling, dialing his father in pure panic. Not long ago, he was online waving guns, mocking rivals, laughing at anyone who called him soft. But inside jail, all that internet bravado vanished fast. No Wi-Fi, no cameras, no audience, just the silence of men who've lived through hell, men who couldn't care less about your fame or your last name. Behind those walls, there's no privilege, no comfort, no second chances. Word is, it all started with one reckless joke, teasing the wrong inmate, forgetting he wasn't streaming for followers anymore. But this wasn't a parking lot brawl or a viral clip. There were no fans, no phones, no jokes, just hardened men watching a rich kid test the limits of respect. Once they learned the loudmouth was T.I.'s son, everything shifted. The energy changed. The air got heavy. King went from inmate to target. Some saw him as a way to earn stripes. Others wanted revenge for T.I.'s past. A few wanted to send a message to hip-hop royalty itself. Panicking, King rushed to the phones, voice cracking as he called his father, Clifford T.I. "Harris, wait till I get back and see him," he muttered in one chilling clip, caught somewhere between fear, anger, and heartbreak. The proud tone he once carried was gone, replaced by a fear he couldn't hide anymore.
You already know that when you come to jail, everybody jealous of what you done had in your life. That's just part of the culture. Like, I wish I would have had.
What came out of his mouth wasn't confidence anymore. It was fear, pure and unfiltered. The kind of fear you can't fake, not even for a camera. For the first time ever, King Harris was forced to face the same truth his father had been warning him about for years. Fame doesn't equal safety, and a big last name means nothing once those iron doors slam shut. To understand how it got this bad, we need to rewind back to October 2024. King Harris didn't fall in a dramatic chase or a wild shootout through Atlanta's streets. His downfall began quietly, almost innocently, in a peaceful suburb just miles away from luxury. Picture it. King stepping out of a gas station, sliding into his black BMW bass thumping, confidence high as if the world itself couldn't touch him.
Behind steel bars.
Man, I'm right here.
Yes, sir.
There's one in the head.
Does your buddy have one as well?
No, no.
All right, just hang tight right here for me. Let me clear this. I don't want any accidental fires.
There's no safety, you gotta take it.
There's no safety.
But that night, fate finally cashed its check. One reckless swerve, and King's black BMW nearly sideswiped a police cruiser. In seconds, red and blue lights exploded behind him, flashing like destiny had just pulled the trigger. When officers approached, the smell of weed hit instantly, and right there. Two weapons sat in plain sight, trophies of bad choices. They ran his name, and just like that, boom, an old bench warrant popped up from forgotten charges. Moments later, the son of a trap legend was face down on the cold pavement, cuffs locked tight, camera flashes bouncing off his skin. TMZ got it first, and within hours the image spread everywhere. King Harris handcuffed half-stoned, and here's the million-dollar question. If you were T.I., would you rush in to save him one more time, or let him face the fire he started himself? Because this wasn't another viral mugshot moment, this was destiny on the line. A father's prophecy colliding headfirst with his son's pride. At first glance, the footage almost looked rehearsed, King calm, polite, even casual, as if he'd been preparing for this scene his whole life. When cops asked about the guns, he didn't even flinch. "You're gonna find my guns?" he said cool, like he was talking about car keys, not charges. By sunrise, the charges softened. King walked free again, another close call. Another night dodging real consequences. But the scars were already written deep. Every headline screamed the same story. T.I.'s son arrested for guns and weed. And every blog echoed the same bitter truth. The boy born into privilege was now chasing the same storm his father had fought to escape.
Oh, motherfucking wait. You got the wrong man, wrong guy. What the fuck is that? They got drones flying and shit.
The boy born into comfort was now chasing the same trapped life his father had fought to escape. The irony cut deep, because for the first time, the world saw exactly what T.I. had been warning about. His son wasn't just acting out, he was racing headfirst into self-destruction. And while the legal smoke cleared fast, the cultural explosion hit like a grenade. That body cam footage didn't just go viral, it stamped King Harris with a permanent label. Overnight, he became a living contradiction, a diamond-draped rebel chasing street credibility he hadn't earned. The internet devoured him, fans mocked, critics dragged, and the whispers got darker. Rumors spread that King's short stay behind bars wasn't as harmless as it looked, that he'd run into the wrong crowd. And that's when the story turned from embarrassing to dangerous. Because inside, the rules are different. Respect is the only currency, and one bad move can bankrupt you fast. Raised in luxury but desperate to prove, he was built for the trenches. King reportedly walked in loud, cocky, dripping with that same online energy. But jail isn't social media, and those men inside aren't trolls behind screens. They're real, hardened, and nothing about them is pretend. Insiders claimed King kept running his mouth, cracking jokes, maybe even name-dropping his father like it carried weight. Big mistake. Behind steel doors, arrogance draws blood, and before long, whispers started to crawl down the block. Whispers that turn a name into a target.
And he told me that it was okay. So that's the only time. Inside any other time, I don't even call the police like for accidents. It ain't even no 911 call with my voice on it. If break in my house,
That's T.I.'s boy right there. The name alone shifted the energy. Some saw it as an opportunity, others as a score to settle. Suddenly, King Harris wasn't just another inmate, he was a message. Every stare lingered longer. Every word he spoke was weighed. Because now, he wasn't just representing himself, he carried the entire Harris legacy on his shoulders. One wrong move could drag that legacy through the mud. Even Atlanta's pride couldn't protect him from what was coming. Inside those walls, fame had no power. The whispers got colder. The stares turned sharper. And soon, insiders claimed King was surrounded not by men looking to brawl, but by predators ready to make an example. Their message was clear as steel. Fame doesn't save you here. That's when panic finally took over. The confidence cracked. The grin disappeared. All that built for it, talk went silent. Word spread fast that some crews weren't planning to rough him up. They wanted to erase him. Fear kicked in. King rushed to the jail phone, voice trembling, begging his father to get him out. Hoping T.I. could call in favors, pay the right people, or pull strings to make it stop. But this time, there was no easy way out. Every reckless word, every online flex, had finally come back around with interest. The checks his mouth had been writing for months had bounced, and now the debt was his own safety. For years, T.I. had warned him, this road doesn't end in fame, it ends in a cage. But like any defiant 20-year-old, King thought he was untouchable. Remember that viral Falcons game in 2023, when father and son nearly turned the VIP suite into a war zone? King shouting he wasn't raised in privilege, swearing he came up rough at his grandma's instead of that mansion his parents called home.
I'm the only one on here who got bad-ass kids.
We all go through
You
it.
feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you ain't got no bad-ass kids, you got one and you got lucky. You hear me? Anybody with 3 or more,
multiples.
you got one that you don't know what the hell you gonna do with.
He wanted to prove he was real, raw, unfiltered. A man who earned respect in the trenches, not through his father's name. Meanwhile, T.I., a man who had already done time for federal gun charges, could only shake his head, watching his son sprint toward the same darkness he once escaped. He knew that fear, That cold steel, that sound of the cell door slamming shut, the Nightmare King was still treating like a game. So when the call came from behind bars, King's voice cracking, begging for help, the irony hit deep. The same son who once brushed off every warning was now pleading with the same man he'd tried to outshine. But this time, T.I. didn't post, didn't preach, he went quiet. The kind of silence that says more than words ever could. Behind the scenes though, phones were lighting up. Lawyers contacted, favors called in. Whispers say even some old Atlanta OGs were quietly being reached. T.I. was allegedly pulling every string, burning every favor, willing to scorch the earth if that's what it took to keep his son alive. Because this wasn't just about saving a reckless kid, this was about protecting a legacy. For T.I., it wasn't only a father's duty, it was redemption. One last chance to rewrite a prophecy he saw coming years ago. Deep down, he always knew. Fame doesn't protect you, it paints a target on your back. And now the question hangs heavier than ever. Was King Harris doomed from the beginning? Could this all have been avoided? Or was fate simply collecting a debt that was always due? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this story's still unfolding. And while the internet twists the truth, the whispers are getting louder. Multiple blogs, hip-hop forums, and even street insiders are claiming the same chilling thing. King Harris's story isn't done. The danger inside those walls might have just started. Those men weren't trying to humble him, they wanted something darker. They weren't teaching lessons, they were trying to make history. Because in jail politics, taking down a celebrity's son is a fast pass to legend status. Instant clout, instant respect. For them, King wasn't a person, he was an opportunity. And according to insiders, King's worst enemy wasn't his name, it was his mouth. Reports claim he couldn't stop joking, bragging about fame and money, acting like the cameras were still rolling, until someone whispered, "That's T.I.'s boy." That's when the air shifted, the block froze. Overnight, King Harris went from loudmouthed newcomer to walking target, the living symbol of every grudge ever held against the Harris name.
I can't judge how the parenting has gone, because everything that we've seen has been stuff that many of us would have said or similar if we saw our children do this. But I will say this, a lot of what's happening is because it's in the public. Like most children don't have to.
Every ounce of resentment toward fame and privilege came crashing down on him. Every man who'd ever been ignored by the system saw a chance to make a statement, and King became that statement. That's when, insiders say, T.I. snapped into panic mode behind the curtain. This wasn't about bail anymore, this was survival. Because in that world, deals aren't made on paper. They're sealed with fear, silence, and favors. You never know what you'll do until you're in it. One insider admitted, describing just how dark things had gotten. The truth was brutal. King Harris had spent years proving he was real, and now, reality itself was threatening to destroy him. And here's what cuts the deepest. King had just become a father himself in late 2024. Holding his newborn son, King Jr. was supposed to be the wake-up call, the moment that pushed him to grow, to change, to finally become the man he pretended to be online. But instead of breaking the pattern, he repeated it exactly like T.I. feared. One generation clawed its way out of the trap, only to watch the next one walk right back in. For T.I., this isn't just about saving his son from another mugshot, it's about breaking a curse. It's about proving that hip-hop royalty can raise sons who rise, not crumble, chasing ghosts. Their fathers barely survived now. The crossroads couldn't be clearer. King has two choices. Grow up, embrace fatherhood, and face the truth, or keep running down the same dark road that nearly ended his father's life. Because those gangs inside, they're not waiting for his next song, they're waiting for his next mistake. And in that world, mistakes don't get second chances. They get written in blood. So the real question isn't just will King survive jail, it's will he survive the cycle? Can he finally break free before it's too late? Or will he become another headline? Another tragic story of pride, fame, and self-destruction? Drop your thoughts below, share your take, and make sure you subscribe because this story is far from over. Each day brings new whispers, new moves, new danger. The Harris legacy hangs by a fragile thread, and the final chapter hasn't been written yet.